I-54 going out of Guyman into Hooker. When I was a kid learning to drive, this was the scariest highway ever. I mean, look at all this traffic. This Sunday traffic.
Yeah,
it's a killer.
Lots of traffic and lots of sights to see.
I had somebody tell me once that it's so flat out here, if you looked long enough and hard enough, you would see the back of your own head. I think they're pretty much correct.
Every time I hear that saying, all I see is Bugs Bunny where he throws the baseball one way and it comes back and it catches it the other way.
Yeah. So this little blip in the road is Optimal. I lived in Optimal for just a short little while. When I was going through my divorce, my sister lived here, and I lived with her and my parents in a little 3-bedroom trailer house. Me and my 2 kids and my parents and my sister and her husband and her 2 kids. Yeah, it was a little bit cramped.
Optimized. If you see up here is a Seaboard female. Rachel and I were just talking about that. When Seaboard first moved to this area, everybody said, oh, Seaboard's moving in Optimal. They're going to bring that town back. It's going to be back to life. That's been 15 years ago.
Oh, longer than that. I was still in high school. I think I did a documentary on it in broadcast journalism my senior year or junior or senior year.
So we're looking at pushing 30 years.
30 years that Seaboard has been in this area. So Seaboard is a pork packing plant. They have pig farms around here, so you can only imagine the smell is just amazing.
Nothing like the smell of pig poo in the morning.
Pig poo in the morning. Oh goodness, you guys. We're coming into Hooker.
Hold on to your hats.
Look at those elevators. Look at that. That's how you know when you're getting to a town.
You know you're within 10 miles.
Yeah, when you can start seeing the elevators, that's the next town. Or community.
Yes.
And that's the Texas Panhandle too, is like that. I did live in the Texas Panhandle for a while before we moved to Hooker, so.
Southwest Kansas is that way.
Yep, all of this out this way. And they've gotten a lot of rain. Look at the water, the mud puddles.
Water standing in the ditches.
Yes. So, the Hooker Chamber of Commerce is up here. And it's closed, so we can't get Mac a shirt. Last time we were here, it was closed for the 4th of July weekend. But,
We should have shirts
get your
hanging
Hooker
from the window.
t-shirts here.
Yes.
Oh, let's see. Oh, it's open! It's open!
Okay, guys, we talk about the different shirts and stuff. This isn't really my own. Life is full of choices. And then it's no lie, the American Legion baseball team, right there it is, the Hooker Horny Toads.
Look at this. Beware of attack, horny toad. Here's another one.
Once a hooker, always a hooker.
Look at all the cups
All
now.
the coffee cups. Support your local hookers. All my friends are hookers. See, they have a lot of fun with it here, you guys.
See, look where Hooker is.
Yeah, you can see right out here. We're way out in the middle of nowhere. I gave her a call, and Velma's such a sweet lady. I called her and told her we were in town for the afternoon and asked her, should we get some shirts? She said, are you at the shop now? And I said, yes, ma'am. She said, I'll be there in 5 minutes. So we're waiting.
Look, you get Hooker True Value. It's True Value hookers
True
around
value
here.
hookers here. By gosh, by golly. And right across the street, just in case you're wondering, it's Chinese Massage Palace.
That's new.
Yes, that is
That
totally
used
new.
to be Al's Superburger.
Yes. and
Years
then,
ago, Al's Superburger, and they had really good food there too.
It was a Ford car dealership for a while,
Yeah, it
or a
was.
car dealer, and then Tovia Zuniga had a restaurant in there for a little bit.
Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot about that.
That was some good home cooking too.
All right, you guys, Rusty just had a really good idea.
I did?
Yes. So Rusty said we're gonna pick up some t-shirts and maybe a couple of mugs.
Yes.
We'll do a giveaway.
We'll do some giveaways between the Robertson's Belly Acres merchandise and some Hooker merchandise.
Hooker t-shirts. That will be fun. We're gonna put this together. We're gonna get a live going or something. We're gonna do something.
Yes.
So if you want a Hooker shirt, comment below Hooker shirt, or just say Hooker. Just comment. Well.
No, I'm a hooker.
Oh well. Will YouTube kick you out for doing that?
They shouldn't, because it's Hooker, Oklahoma.
Yeah. So, comment something that you want a shirt.
Something about Hooker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Putting your pin in.
We might be from Hooker and visiting Hooker, but we're not from Hooker no more. So right there we are. The mega metropolis of Nowata, Oklahoma.
From one big town to another.
There to there.
The two peach. Oh, let's see, what is today?
Today is the 8th.
I got was a lady from Scotland, and she didn't get her little taggy filled out, but they're from everywhere.
That is so neat. People coming from everywhere to get the Hooker t-shirts.
And the little shirt's been open since '92.
Oh, okay. Been selling shirts since '92.
Yep.
Wow, that's so awesome. Oh my goodness, you guys, what a score. Look at all of this that we have that we're going to be able to give away. I can't wait for that.
Yes.
I can't wait for that video.
I'm so excited.
Yes. All right, you guys, so this house right here, it's this little cream colored house. Back in the day, it was brown. That's where we moved to when I was probably 15. That big tree, my mom planted that tree. So that's pretty much where I grew up until I lived there from when I was 15 till I got married. I was 19 when I got married, so you know those critical 4 years in there, you know, becoming an adult. Okay, this little diner right here, it is a Mexican restaurant, but it used to be called 54 Diner because it's right on Highway 54. Y'all, that was my first public job, I guess is what I call it. I'd been working since I was 11, but that was my first service job, I guess, or what would I call it? Public service. So I was 16 and I waited tables at that little restaurant. It was called 54 Diner at the time. Hooker Main Street. Now I'm gonna be honest, I never dragged Main Street. I was always in Guyman.
Yeah, this is the main street of Hooker, but it's actually Gladys.
Yes, the name is Gladys, and there's the drugstore, and it was open still when we were here, but I don't know if it is now.
On Broadway.
Pizza on Broadway is another big name when you think of Hooker. Pizza on Broadway is good pizza. The library. Me and the kids spent a lot of time here at the library. Look, it's the Hooker Police. But yes, this is the Hooker Police Department. Y'all, this place is near and dear to my heart. Meals Ideal Food. I was a shift manager at this store for a few years when the kids were little. That store used to be a Duck Walls. Alco Duck Walls. That's really dating us here, but I started working there. I was 6 months pregnant with Allie, and I worked there. I was an assistant manager at that store. Look at this. This is rural America. I mean, look at that. school.
And that's only one of the.
That's
the flat storage. And then you can see you've seen the 3 elevators in town, plus all their bins.
Yep.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Oh my goodness, this motel gets so much
Traffic.
attention because of the name of it. It used to be called like Sunshine or Sunset Inn or something, but somebody bought it and made it Hooker Inn, and that was so funny. City of Hooker. All right, if you have an emergency, here's the Hooker EMS.
Right next door to the Hooker Fire Department.
All right, guys, so this is my ex-husband's house. It's the house that he and I bought together. So chances are we may be flipping this house to get it on the market. So that might be we may take you guys on another journey, flipping the house, getting it ready for the market. What do you say we switch gears? And let's talk a little bit of romance here. Romance blossoming in Hooker, Oklahoma.
Love is in the air.
Love is in the air. So in 2010, well, let's start from the beginning.
Yes.
In 2004, I left Mills Ideal and I started my banking career here at First National Bank of Hooker. I ended up being in banking for 12 years. But when I started working here in 2004, I met this amazing woman. She became my best friend. We worked together in this little bitty building back here. That's the drive up. And I was working in there with Donna, and her and I were best friends. We hung out all the time. And
business together.
Yeah, we had a business together. It was great. She had 3 grown sons and a grown daughter. And one day in that little building, I don't know what year it was, 04, 05, sometime, one of her sons came in and I met him. He was married and I was married, and he was just really funny, just like Donna. And then fast forward to 2010, Rusty was going through a divorce.
Yes.
And I was going through a divorce, and we knew each other since 04, 05.
Yeah, 04, 05. We had known each other. We were couples friends. I mean,
yeah, and it was just crazy because all of a sudden we were both in the same boat, and we just kind of started hanging out, and the rest is history, you guys. So thank goodness I met Rusty. That was the place that I met Rusty.
That's where we met, but she was family way before the two of us.
Yes.
Because, like she said, her and my mom were best friends.
Yes.
And
I mean, how many people can say my mother-in-law is one of my best friends, and Donna is literally one of my best friends? Like, we don't have a mother-in-law, daughter-in-law relationship. It's more like, you know, she can look at me and say, Rachel, quit being stupid. Or don't, you know, and I can do the same to her. I can look at her and say, Donna, you're being crotchety, just quit. And because we are best friends, it's just amazing. I'm so blessed. So blessed. And yeah, like Rusty said, I was part of the family way before Rusty and I became an item.
Yes.
And the best part was Amos was at my house. He would, you know, come to all the parties, birthday parties and Halloween parties.
From the time Amos was 4 on,
yeah,
he was at Rachel's house for every major holiday or birthday.
He just didn't become mine until 2010, 2011, right in there.
Yeah.
So, I mean, like, divorce can be crazy. So Rusty and I were both going through divorces. We were both displaced, for lack of a better word.
Yeah.
You know, his ex-wife had their old house. My ex-husband had our old house. Rusty was able to rent this little trailer house. It had holes in the floor. Oh, it was a doozy.
Oh, away.
Yes. So I had lived at another little house, was renting a house for me and the kids, and then divorce happened, actual real divorce. So now it's not just separation, it's divorce. That's expensive, you guys. That's very expensive to retain a lawyer and all. So I had to give up the house I was renting to be able to afford that. And so I moved in with my sister, like I said earlier. So I was living with my sister and my parents, and it was just really crowded and cramped. Landlord has said too many people are living here. You're going to have to find somewhere else to live. And she hated it. She hated that she had to do that. But I mean, it was me or my parents. And so I said, no, I'll find somewhere else. So Rusty said, why don't you just move in with me permanently? And
You and the kids, come on. That's a 3-bedroom trailer. It was me and Amos. Got plenty of room.
So that is when things got serious. We lived in that little trailer house for a little while.
So in November, you moved in, and then the beginning of our craziness started.
Oh my goodness.
As anybody knows that's watched us for very long, things just happen for us for whatever reason. We started talking, all right, we got to find a bigger house. It'd be nice to have something nicer. We're thinking, maybe by spring we can find something, we'll make it do for the winter. And this next house basically fell in our lap.
That happens for Rusty a lot. We've joked about it before. If Rachel gets that sparkle in her eye, Rusty makes it happen. And I don't know how he does, but he does. This house right here where this camper is, that was the first house Rusty, not the camper, the house, Rusty and I rented together. So we lived in this house until 2012, until July 2012, when we moved to Tulsa. Hold on, we have gotten way ahead of ourselves. So I worked while I was going through my divorce, I worked at the bank from 8 till 4 or 4:30. And then I would change my clothes and I'd come to work here at Dollar General from 4:30 or 5. I mean, whenever I got over here, 5 to close, and I'd get out of here about 9:30 at night. And I would do that. I worked those 2 jobs, plus I worked, on Saturdays, I worked in the kitchen at the American Legion Bingo Hall from 3 in the afternoon till 10 at night. I was carrying 3 jobs because I was a single mom, divorced single mom. Rusty, he would stop by here every day after work and buy a pop. So he'd stop in and talk to me and see how I was doing. There was a storm that was coming. I mean, out here in the Panhandle, the storms just pop. They just pop, they're here and they're gone. And he and his mom showed up. So he said, give me your keys. And I said, what's going on? He said, there's a storm coming, there's hail in it. We're gonna take your car and park it in the bank drive-through to save it, to protect it from the hail. Well, I thought that was really sweet. And he and his mom took, my car. Well, after the storm was over, he and his dad brought me my car back, and he came in and he handed me the keys, and I was like, you guys didn't have to do that. And he's like, I know. He said, but we really wanted to, make sure that your car was okay. And so he was leaving. He was walking out the door. He had handed me the keys, and I had said thank you. And he's walking out the door, and I said, hey, what are you doing later? And he said, nothing. And I said, do you want to come help me fill up 1,000 water balloons? Because it's my daughter's 11th birthday party tomorrow, and we're having a water balloon party. And he just grinned from ear to ear, and he said, I'll bring the beer. And from that day on, we did not miss a day together. And even now, 11 years later, looking back at that, there's very few times that we have not seen each other. We have seen each other almost every day, aside from, various hospital stays, or when I would go to training for work and things like that. But Rusty and I are always together. just like you see in the videos. And that was all she wrote. That's our love story right there in a nutshell.
Hi.
Hi. Hey, Rusty, explain the significance of this house.
This house is where we were invited to our first barbecue as a couple. And then after that, the next party we came to is where I proposed to Rachel. And she said yes.
But that's not even the best part of it, you guys. The best part is the name of the street that we were on when he proposed. Yep. Russell
Hi.
proposed to me on Russell Street.
Yes, I did.
Oh my goodness, you guys. It has been so much fun taking you guys around and showing you. This is where I'm from. This is where I grew up. Rusty didn't grow up too far from here. Maybe next time we're up this way, we can make the trip up to Elkhart and do this is where Rusty's from video. And this is where Rusty and where our romance started, and you know, kind of our history too.
Right.
We hope you like our videos. If you do, please hit the like button.
Yes, subscribe if you haven't already.
Yep, share with your friends.
Leave us some comments, you guys. I know there's going to be lots of things said. I know I'm expecting a ton of comments, because if you want a Hooker t-shirt or a coffee cup, you've got to leave a comment about Hooker. Otherwise, you can't win the t-shirt. But most of all, don't forget to smash that bell and get notified of the next new video when it comes out.
Yep, until next time, you guys. God bless.
See ya.